ბათუმი 15-28 სექტემბერი სოფლიო ჩემპიონატი ჭადრაკში ფიდეს ყველაზე პრესტიჟული ღონისძიება მოზარდთა შორის სოფლიოს 69 ქვეყნის ნიჭიერი და წარმატებული 783 მოჭადრაკე აზიის, ამერიკის, აფრიკის და ევროპის კონტინენტებიდან ითამაშე ჭადრაკი ბათუმში გახდი საუკეთესო მსოფლიოში
ხარული ვარ რომ წელს ბათუმი მასპინძლობს ჭადრაკის მსოფლიო ჩემპიონატს მოზარდთა შორის მინდა მივესალმო თითოეულ მონაწილეს და წარმატებები უსურვო.
ფიდეს სახელით მსოფლიო ჩემპიონატის ყველა მონაწილეს ვუსურვებ წარმატებას.
Hello dear chess friends, welcome to Batumi. This is World Youth Championship under 8, 10, 12 open and the girls section. We have more than 750 players here from 69 different countries. I am Grandmaster Valeri Gaprindashvili. I will be with you today as before, and we have today round number 6. And I will announce you the situation of the tournament in the different categories. Let's start with the open section. Here on the first board we have Ding playing against Duruchai. So I'll tell you that Ding is the only player who has the max score. He has 5 out of 5, and his opponent Duruchai has 4.5 points. There is one more pair with the 4.5 points. This is board number 2. Until we go to the board number 2, I'll tell you that here we have the Imsovich system as opening. A couple more moves has done. Okay, let's take a look how it was. Knight G2 system, yes, okay, nothing special is happening here. So I was telling that we have one pair with a 4.5 points in the tournament. This is Adi Reddy Arjun and Uskov Artyom. I will just mention that Uskov is a first number with the rating points in the tournament. Here we have Sicilian Defense. Without any unexpected things for now, it just moved number 7. We go next to the board number 3. We have here Fedosov with white with a Movahed Sina. Both of them has 4 points. I will also remind you that Movahed is a second number in the ranking, the starting starting rank, and he lost one game. Now he has 4 points as his opponent Fedosov. Let's go to the next board where we have again 4 pointers. This is Besso and Gotham. Gotham lost yesterday, otherwise he was leading the tournament. And here we have him with his opponent together with the 4 points. It is just a King's Indian, the opening, just the beginning, so everything is ahead. The next board, board number 5, we have Haritonov Maxim playing against Muhammadian Sichani. Both of them has 4 points. So here we have the French defense. I hope so. Yes, that was French defense. The theoretical line. Nothing unusual is happening here. Next pair with the 4 points on the board number 6. We have Villa Tornero against Bukrev Stanislav. We have the French defense here with the bishop b4 line. Both of them has 4 points. As the next board, board number 7, here we have Vaz Ethan against Tulendinov. As I told you, they also have 4 points out of 5. Here we have Sicilian Defense with a c3 line. Next board we have again 4 pointers. Yes, this is board number 8. And here we have Karachayigit against Lysenkov Sviatoslav. Here we have the Sicilian defense with the bishop b5 and d4 queen takes d4 line. Nothing unusual happening here also. And the last pair we have with the 4 points. This is board number 9. Sovinsky playing against Kaneshbekov. Here we have the Grunwald system, and we have one more player with the 4 points which went down and playing on the board number 10 with the black colors. Torosian Volodya, he has 4 points, and his opponent Delgardalai has 3.5 points. This is the top board we have for now. Then it comes girls action under 12. I will tell you what's going on here. Here we have 5 players with 4.5 points. Nobody has max score. So on the first board here we have Kali Ahmed playing against Merkulova. As I told you, both of them having the 4.5 points on the board number 1. We have a Benko system here. Again, the theoretical line, nothing unusual is happening. On the board number 2, we have again 4.5 pointers. This is Shubhi Gupta and Ido Ganaria. This is just the beginning, as you see, and we have one player with the 4.5 points. Which went down, so with the 4.5 point is Galadza, and she plays against Shreya, who has 4 points out of 5. So let's see what opening it was. It's a little bit strange structure there happening. So that was Koch with the queen e2. Okay, queen e2 is like a surprising move, so it seems like she's prepared on that. Let's see how it goes later. Okay, it's clear that the white wants to play long castle. On the next board we have the players with the 4 points. This is board number 4. Here we have Orango with white playing against Ismailova Khanim. They have 4 points out of 5 playing on the board number 4. We have the Sicilian defense here without any unusual things. Next it is Holyavko against Maklakova Naomi. Both of them again has 4 points. So we have Scotch defense here, yes. It is a theoretical line. Let's see how it continues. And the last player who has 4 points, this is Saparia with the black, and she is playing with Yusef Ian, who has 3.5 points. What opening do we have here? Let's take a quick look. Okay, what to say about this? The position is very close to equal. Everything depends how they will fight later. We go to the open section under 10. I remind you, this is round number 6, and here we have only one player with the 5 points out of 5. This is Kleimenov Nikolai. He is playing against Mendes. Mendes is with the white. He is a first number. I mean, in the starting rank, he has a first number by rating points. Of course, he will try to win this game, as he needs that very much to be the leader in the tournament. So it will be a quite tough game for both of the players. Let's take a quick look at the opening, what it was there happening. It's a Sicilian defense with the g6 line. Okay, a little bit strange beginning. Yes. Okay, Let's see what will be next. The position is quite unusual. It will be the interesting game for sure. Next board we have Liu Zachary against Unsal Gorkhan. Both of them has 4.5 points out of 5. Yes, here we have also the Sicilian Defense. Kind of theoretical beginning, so nothing unusual happening here. And the next board, board number 3, here we have one more guy with a 4.5 points. This is a player with a black, Go Ethan, and he is playing with the Smirnov Mark, who is a white and having 4 points out of 5. Next board we have Liu Patrick playing against Kirito Polos. Both of them are having 4 points out of 5. Next board we have Damodaran against Golis, also with the 4 points. We have a lot of 4-pointers here. Next board, board number 6, Vivan Vishal is playing against Anand. We have a Petrov system here, the theoretical line, so both of them have having 4 points out of 5. Next board we have Cocharian against Lacan. They also have 4 points. It's a little bit strange beginning. Let's take a look how it was. Yeah, it's really strange. I think bishop h6 was not necessary in this opening for black, as knight h5 also. Anyway, let's see what will happen there later, and until that let's go to the next board. Next board here we have Kuntelia against Botiraliev. Both of them has 4 points out of 5. Nothing unusual happening for now. Next board we have also with the 4 points. Here is Dushatov Timur playing against Payarduran. Also the theoretical beginning without any unexpected things. Next board we have that's board number 10. Here is Ihsan against Radzimsky. We also have another board with the 4 points. This is Shilon with white against Tepanov. And we have one more player with the 4 points. This is the player with the black colors. This is Novodvorsky Dmitry, and his opponent Kleshevnikov has 3.5 points. Now I would like to go to the girls section, under 10. On the first board we have Bassari playing against Vinskaya. Bassari is the only player with the max score. She has 5 out of 5 and the opponent has 4.5 out of 5. Let's take a look what position they get, what they did before getting this position. So it was Pirs Ofimtsev with the c5 line, check, and e5, knight g8. I think white was well prepared for this opening, as they are playing quite quickly compared to the opponent. Let's see how it goes later. We have one pair here with the 4.5 points on the board number 2, and this is Artamonova against Sisko Evangelina. Both of them has 4.5 points. Black has no problem in this opening, so the position is very close to equal. And then it comes the group of 4-pointers. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs, and another player also who went down with a 3.5 point player. So on the board number 3, here we have Chichinadze playing against Mirzahani. nothing special is happening for now. Then we have Anu playing against Sri Karthika. I hope I pronounce it correctly. Also the opening line without any special things. On the next board, board number 5, we have Igoshkina playing against Diaskizidalia. Next board, last pair with the 4 pointers. Here we have Myanmar against Tongtai. Yeah, absolutely equal position. And the last player with the 4 points with white, that's Tran, who is playing against H. Simot Blanca, who has 3.5 points out of 5. This is also just a beginning, just an opening without unexpected things. And now let's go to another section, and this is open section under 8. I will take a look what's going on in this tournament after 5 rounds. Here we have 2 leaders, both of them having 5 points out of 5, and this is Shokjiev, and I want just to say that he's doing an excellent tournament, and Anna Puredi also, who is doing very well in this tournament. So I think that it will be one of the decisive games. Okay, and I don't want to say in advance, but I think, and my vision is that the winner of this game will be later the champion of the tournament. I feel so, but okay, let's see how it goes. On the board number 2, we have Jachria playing against Banergy. This is kind of very beginning. They are having 4.5 points. So here we have 2 pairs with a 4.5 point. This is the first pair, and the second pair on the board number 3. This is Ayapan Santosh against Larry Mark, both of them with 4.5 points. And then it comes a very huge group of 4 pointers. I will go now to the girls section under 8. Let's take a look what's going on here. On the first board we have Sivanandan against Charvi. The same situation here as in the open section. Both of the players are kind of strong and doing a very well tournament, and also here it will be a very decisive game, as the winner will get a very big advantage on the tournament. So let's see what will happen there. Next we have board number 2. Here only one player has 4.5 points. This is Mahmudova with black, who is playing against Mahina. Mahina is white, having 4 points. And we already have some interesting things happening on the board. Let's take a look how it was from the beginning. It was a Moro gambit. Wait, why like this? I hope I have the correct position here. I don't understand what's going on here. If the white will play just knight c7 and then capture on a8 to be just rook up. Okay, Machina decided to play knight d5, queen g6, knight c7, check anyways. What to say? It seems like everything is clear already on the move number 13, and it was clear actually a little bit earlier, couple moves ago. It's very difficult to make any comments about the acts what Mahmudova did with the 4.5 points out of 5. When you are one of the leader, you have to feel more responsibility with the black when you are doing the things like that and losing the game in 10 moves. But okay, let's mention also that this is just the age section under 8 girls, so maybe something went wrong, some blunders, and okay, we have what we have. I hope Mahmudova gonna have the excellent chances in this tournament in the future, and I will wish her the best. Next here in this age category we have a group of the 4-pointers. On the board number 3 we have Rdzakovska against Veselov Zoe. Nothing special is happening here. The next board number 4 we have again 4-pointers, and this is Perikizi against Salmon, without any unexpected things. Also on the board number 5 we have Zhumambayeva against Baimagambet. Also just the beginning of the Sicilian Defense. The next game on the board number 6 we have again 4-pointers. This is Pam playing against Sholpambek, also without any special things happening for now. And here we have one player with the 4 points. This is the player with the black, Isakhanyan, who went down and playing against the 3.5-pointer player. This is Halafan Dorsa. Also nothing unusual and unexpected is happening here. So I will try to take a quick look at the players who is leading in the tournament at the top boards. So this is open section under 12. Here we have Ding against Duruchai, a classical isolated pawn position. Then we have Adiredi against Uskov, also classical Sicilian. Then we have Fedosov against Movahed-Sina. This position is kind of slightly better for white. Then Beso against Gotham. This is also slightly better for white. Then we have Haritonov against Muhammadian Sichani. That's typical classical French defense with a knight c3, knight f6 line, nothing special happening. Let's go to the girls section under 12. On the first board, Kali Ahmed against Merkulova. Also nothing unexpected happening. Shubhi against Ido Ganaria. The same here. Then we have Galadza against Shreya. Here I think black has no problems at all, but okay, let's take a look how they're gonna fight later. Then we have Orango against Ismailova Hanim, typical Sicilian defense, and we have Holyavko against Maklakova with the Scotch defense there, with a complicated position from the beginning. I think black has to play d5. It's just necessary to do something like that, and it will be a big fight here. And next we go to the open section under 10. That's a very unusual position. They just start playing the chess without any theory, so it means that who will just play better, he will win the game. It will be a very nice fight on the first board, and of course we will pay our high attention on that. Next we have second board, Liu against Unsal without anything special. Smirnov against Guo, the same. We have Liu Patrick against Kirito Polos, also nothing special. Girls section under 10. On the first board, Bassari against Vinskaya. As I told you, Bassari seems better prepared than Vinskaya, as Vinskaya is taking much time to think. Artamonova is playing against Sisko without any problem for black from the opening. Then we have Chichinadze with the same position against Mirzahani. Then Anu is playing against Sri Karthika. Slightly better for, okay, that's a very famous position, maybe with a slightly better chances for white, but nothing special. boys section under 8. Here we have Shokji with white and Anna already with black. Let's see how it was a little bit before. So it was e5 here, knight g4, bishop f4, queen b6, long castle, bishop e6 as knight d5 was hanging. The position and the game will be very complicated here. On the next board we don't have a lot of moves at all. The next is Ayapan against Larry Mark, where the position is very close to equal, and the girls section under 8. On the first board we have a great fight here where Sivanandan playing against Charvi. For now it's just slightly better for white. Machina is, what to say, Machina is just winning the game because she is rook up. If anything unexpected will not happen, she will easily win this game. Next board is Rzadkovska against Veselov Zoe with the equal position. And actually this is it, the top boards. So let's take a look how they will end up the openings till the end. We will do a short break now and be back with the middle games and interesting positions, I hope so. So see you very soon.
ბათუმი 15-28 სექტემბერი სოფლიო ჩემპიონატი ჭადრაკში ფიდეს ყველაზე პრესტიჟული ღონისძიება მოზარდთა შორის სოფლიოს 69 ქვეყნის ნიჭიერი და წარმატებული 783 მოჭადრაკე აზიის, ამერიკის, აფრიკის და ევროპის კონტინენტებიდან ითამაშე ჭადრაკი ბათუმში გახდი საუკეთესო მსოფლიოში
ხარული ვარ რომ წელს ბათუმი მასპინძლობს ჭადრაკის მსოფლიო ჩემპიონატს მოზარდთა შორის მინდა მივესალმო თითოეულ მონაწილეს და წარმატებები უსურვო.
ფიდეს სახელით მსოფლიო ჩემპიონატის ყველა მონაწილეს ვუსურვებ წარმატებას.
ბათუმი 15-28 სექტემბერი სოფლიო ჩემპიონატი ჭადრაკში ფიდეს ყველაზე პრესტიჟული ღონისძიება მოზარდთა შორის სოფლიოს 69 ქვეყნის ნიჭიერი და წარმატებული 783 მოჭადრაკე აზიის, ამერიკის, აფრიკის და ევროპის კონტინენტებიდან ითამაშე ჭადრაკი ბათუმში გახდი საუკეთესო მსოფლიოში
ხარული ვარ რომ წელს ბათუმი მასპინძლობს ჭადრაკის მსოფლიო ჩემპიონატს მოზარდთა შორის მინდა მივესალმო თითოეულ მონაწილეს და წარმატებები უსურვო.
ფიდეს სახელით მსოფლიო ჩემპიონატის ყველა მონაწილეს ვუსურვებ წარმატებას.
Hello dear chess friends, we are back from Batumi World Youth Championship under 8, 10 and 12. Open and the girl section. Today we're having round number 6. I just want to announce as an information that tomorrow we have a rest day, so it is very important from psychological point of view for the players to end up the first half of the tournament successfully. Now let's go to the open section straightly to under 12. Here on the first board we have we have everywhere the important games. Here we have board number 1 where Ding is a leader. He has 5 points out of 5. The opponent has only, okay, not only, that's quite good result, 4.5 points out of 5. And of course it is very interesting what will be in this game. For now we have isolated pawn for white, but that isolated pawn is not blocked yet. In the game was queen d7 played already until I was talking, so maybe it's time to push that pawn ahead, as we know abstractly that when we have the isolated pawn we have to be very active and aggressive trying to attack. Here white does not have any attack, but they have the pair of the bishops and they have a chance to push that isolated pawn ahead, and there will be no isolated pawn anymore on the board. So for example d5, I think white has the only, black has the only move to capture on d5, and then knight takes d5. Again, it seems like black has to capture. Now I'm not sure about bishop d5 or queen d5, so let's say queen d5. Queen d5, it will be slightly better position for white. They are not risking anything at all, and it will be a long game. A lot of games was like that, where white was having the bishop in the open position, and based on that, in the end, they won the game. So again and again, whites are not risking anything in that case, and the only side who is playing to win the game is white. So that's why I think that d5 will be a good decision. So here the opponent, Duruchai, has 4.5 points. Yes, that's right. So with the 5 points out of 5, it will be quite comfortable, I think so, before the rest day to have the position like that. And let's play another 50 moves, why not? When you are not risking anything, it is kind of pleasure even to play such a kind of position. Next board we have Adiredi against Uskov. We know that Uskov is a first number of the tournament. Both of them here, they have 4.5 points out of 5. And what kind of position do we have? It is almost equal. Yes, it will be a long game. I'm quite sure about that. Next board we have Fedosov against Movahed Sina. It's quite interesting position. I think black has no problems here for now. Next board we have Besso against Gotham. Nothing special is happening here, slightly better for white. And the next board, the last board we will review from this section. This is Haritonov against Muhammadian Sichani, where we have again the typical position of the French defense with the knight c3 line. So we will end up this section with that, and now we go to the girl section under 12. Here we have Kali Ahmed against Merkulova Victoria. Also nothing special is happening. Last move was e6. This is a typical position from Benko where the blacks sacrificed the pawn, but they have the compensation for that. Last move, as I told you, was e6. And let's see what how Kali Ahmed will react on that. So both of them, I will just remind you that both of the players has 4.5 points out of 5. Next board here we have Shubhi against Ido Gan, also the same pointers. Shubhi's position looks like a little bit better, but without any special problems for black. Next we have Galadza playing against Shreya with the same points. Galadza has a 4.5 points and the opponent has a little bit less. She has 4 points. So the c4 square is kind of weak for white. Let's see what was the last moves after g3. Knight e5, take on b6, take, and bishop g2. It's very interesting after taking on b6 what was going on if the black played bishop g4. There is queen b5 check, but it does not make any big sense because on queen b5 check I'll play just c6. And I don't think here anything has changed for white. The queen is still hanging. And knight f3 still hanging. The only point could be that after queen a5 or queen a4, black could not capture on b6 as it is pinned. So let's see what's gonna happen here. Knight f3, check, king d1. And if the black does not have any interesting discover check, then they can be just piece down, which is not the best option at all. Yes, it seems like nothing is happening here good for black. So maybe it was even quite okay what the black did. So white could not do the short castle now because of the bishop c4. Also long castle will be a little bit risky as the a file is open. So maybe it's already the time here to play knight d2 with white. To control the c4 square, to control the f3 square. Both of them are very important, so that that maybe makes sense for white to do like this. Okay, don't go too ahead. Let's see what the chess players will do by their own at the board. So next board we have Orango against Ismailova Hanim. Ismailova is pawn up for now, but the white of course has the initiative and the very strong knight on d5. So for example, they can do bishop b5. then queen c8, and then knight e3. That makes sense. Also makes sense to play knight f6. Of course, that will be interesting, but I think here minus plus black will be okay, as they will capture here, and on this they will capture this also. Yeah, that will be quite interesting game, that's for sure. Next board here we have Holyavko against Maklakova, with the complicated position, that's clear. And the last player with the 4 points with black, Saparia, is playing against the white Yusef Ian, who has 3.5 points. Okay, it is white to move. Kind of initiative, but nothing special is happening here. I think so. But what's going on knight f3? To attack that, it's interesting what was b4. So after bishop b3, take, d5. I'm not sure about d5 move. I'm not sure about d5, because after queen d6, what's going on here if I play knight f3? How to support the e5 pawn? Good question. Maybe knight f4. Maybe that makes sense. Let's see how they will continue there. Now we go to the open section. Under 10, I mean open section under 10, where Kleimenov is the only guy with the 5 points. And what do we have here? We have quite dangerous king in the center, which is dangerous for black, of course. It's not dangerous for white. And that king could not do the castle. From other side, whites are pawn down, but they have the full compensation for that very interesting game. Let's go to the next board, where we have Liu against Unsal. Here nothing special is happening. The position is slightly, a little bit better for white, without any problem for black. Also, we have to mention that the same is here again with between Smirnov and Go Ethan. Next we have Liu Patrick against Kirito Polos. Kirito Polos is a pawn up, but white has a compensation for that. That's clear. And let's go to the girls section under 10. Here on the first board we have Bassari against Vinskaya. What was the last move? Was queen d7. White has too much space, so their position is slightly better. Next we have Artamonova against Sisko. Sisko has absolutely good position. Next we have Chichinadze against Mirzakhani. Yeah, whites are slightly better here. Whites are slightly better. Next we have Anu against Sri Karthika, with an equal position, almost equal. Okay, again, maybe a little bit better for white, but nothing special. Next we have Igoshkina against Diaskizi. Also equal position, but without any problem for black. More, we can say that could be that the black's position is a little bit better than the white's position. Now I go to the open section under 8, where we have Shogiev and Anna Puredi, both of them having an excellent tournament. So Let's take a look at the moves after knight g4. What was happening there? It was bishop f4, queen b6 castle, bishop e6, and take on d6, take on d6. And whites are thinking very complicated position, very complicated. f2 pawn is hanging, on the same time d6 pawn is hanging. Let's see what Shokjiev will decide to play here. Next board we have Jachria against Panergy. It's just the beginning, only 7 moves has done. That's too few for 1 hour and 20 minutes playing, so I hope we see the correct position, which is on the board actually that they have. So for example, if we compare this game to that game, here they already played 22 moves and they are in the, we can say, in the deep end game. And there are only 7 moves has done. I will double check it. Yes, it shows like that. So maybe that's a position there. Here we have Ayapan against Larry Mark. The black's bishop is quite strong. For that we can say that they are having kind of better chances to win the game. In the girl section, on the first board where we have a very decisive and important game, here we have Sivan and Dan with a pawn down but with a compensation on the board. Let's see how they will continue playing. And the next board was Mahmudova. She blundered the rook, we can say like that. She blundered the rook in the opening and having absolutely losing position, of course. So just imagine this position without the rook on h1, will be with a compensation for the pawn down for white. It will be a full compensation. And no, they are missing the rook, so it's just losing. It's very sad that this kind of thing happened there. In that game, in such an important game on the top boards, when it is happening, the huge blunder, of course, it is very sad. Next board, we have Zatkovska against Veselov, where Zatkovska is having the better position. And actually, that's it with the top boards. Now we can go back to the open section, and here you are. It is like Dean heard what I was talking about here, and he played absolutely the same thing. This is a correct decision. Bravo, what to say. This guy is almost 2000 rating player, and he's doing a very good performance in this tournament. And here we see that I think he made the best decision that the white can do in that position. So whites are having the slightly better position in this game, but this slightly better is a kind of forever. Why am I saying forever? Because one more time whites are having pair of the bishops in the open position without any weaknesses for them in the game. And the black has to fight for draw. I mean that the best that the black can do, this is a draw. So this is kind of comfortable. Always it is comfortable when the opponent is fighting for the draw, which is max for him. So, okay, let's see. It's another question. How will be the techniques of the endgame for Dean and how he will try to win this game? Because believe me, it is quite possible to win this kind of position. Let's go to the next board where we have Adi Reddy Arjun against Uskov Artyom. Both of them are quite strong players. Mostly Uskov is a higher rated, but Adi Reddy is doing a great tournament. It is black to move. Adi Reddy decided to do the long castle. The last move for him was long castle, yes. So that will be warm in this game in couple moves, I am sure, because we know when there is an opposite castle position in the game, both of the opponents are trying to be fast in attack, to be first in attack, and to be very active and aggressive. So let's see how they will do all of this stuff, and who will be the winner and who will be the first who starts attack in this game. I think we will have a very interesting next hour connected to this game, so we will pay our high attention on this position later. Next we have Fedosov against Movahed Sinan. So Movahed decided to trade the dark square bishops, as the dark squares in the white's position is quite weak, and Movahed is trying to use that fact later. That's already easy to see. And from other side, white has a little bit more space, and okay, the position is mostly equal maybe, but okay, I like to play that game for black for sure. Next board here we have Besso against Gotham. Nothing much is changing here. We have almost the same position as 20 minutes ago. And nothing special is happening, just a slightly better position for white. They can improve and develop their queen and then do the long castle. They are controlling the e4 square, which is very important. And from other side, the black also has the d6 square for the knight, where that knight will be a quite good piece actually. Next board to review is Haritonov against Muhammadian Sichani with the French defense, knight c3 line. It is a great fight, we can see it. Okay, it is very difficult to evaluate this position as it is totally unclear, complicated, and with the chances for both of the sides. Let's go to the girls section, under 12, first board. Okay, so what was here played the last move for white and black? Okay, it was this. Black played e6. White decided to don't touch the pawn, don't capture it, and just play knight f3, and then play bishop b3. Interesting decision. Kali Ahmed was pawn up. Now it's equal pawns, and later it could be even less pawn for black, so for white, but I think it will be very dangerous for black, as after queen takes b2 there is rook b1, queen a3, and knight b5, gaining the exchange, as later after queen also has a trouble to go. So maybe on c5, bishop b4. Yeah, actually it's quite dangerous for them. But let's see how it will be. It's an interesting line anyway. It is an interesting line if the black will play c4 here. What the white can do. Okay, and they will give that pawn. That's not a problem, because they're gonna have the compensation for that at all, completely. So c4, I don't think it will be the best that the black can do. So maybe knight a6, move like that to support the d5 pawn later with knight c7, for example. Anyway, let's go to the next board, where we have Shubhi Gupta against Ido Ganaria. We are saying that Shubhi's position seems like a little bit more comfortable. Yes, as f5 is also hanging, just in case. And they have a little bit more active position. Next we have Galadza against Shreya. Shreya decided to do the long castle. It is slightly better for white. Their pieces is more active, position is more active. They can play even f4 if they need so. They have slightly better position, that's for sure. Next here we have Orango against Ismailova. So Ismailova sacrificed the piece, so we are considering this option. And the position is quite complicated, even even queen down. Okay, they are not queen down actually. They have rook, bishop, and the pawn for the queen, what is almost equal material. So that will be a very interesting game. Next we have here Holyavko against Maklakova. There was a very bad bishop for Maklakova on a6, which one she tried. And what to do next? It is a very good question, so maybe play d6. Why not? Okay, I will mention one more time that Maklakova is a, what I see here, Maklakova is a real fighter. She is fighting very well. She is not having any advantage in the opening with the white, or mostly also with the black. She concentrates on the middle game, on the end game, I mean on the real fight later, not the preparation. And doing it very well, so I just like to wish the best luck to her, and let's see what will be later there in the game. And the last board to review, here we have Yusef Ian playing with 3.5 points against the Saparia, who has 4 points. And the whites are thinking, so I hope I have the same position as they have on the board, because it's already almost half an hour past after this position that we review about half an hour ago, and the whites didn't do the move. From other side, it's not like too difficult to play knight f3 here, so I think it could be already done in the game, and I don't have that news yet. So let's go to the open section under 10, open section under 10. Oh my god, what an interesting queen on g7. I don't think it was necessary to do for white, because the king was anyway in the center in this position. So maybe better was to develop the knight on d2, because, you know guys, okay, it's very good to be very active and very aggressive, but with the undeveloped pieces like rook on a1 and knight on b1, it is very difficult to create any serious and huge troubles to the opponent. So I think it was better just to develop the knight. As after queen g7, king e7, and what's next? Now queen f8 is hanging. If the black will play queen f8 and trade the queens, then their position will be just pawn up. Right? So what for to did like that with white? It was not necessary. Board number 2. Here we have Liu Zachary against Unsal Gorkhan. It is white to move. Last move was knight takes d5, I think so. Let's go back a little bit. So white played knight d5, black capture, white capture, and black capture. So the point for black is clear, that if the white will capture on g7, black will play knight f4, attacking the queen. Now queen could not go on d4 or even on c3, yeah, because of the simple knight takes e2. And if the queen goes somewhere else, does not matter, then knight takes e2 with a check, queen takes e2, king takes g7, blacks are just pawn up. So what to do with white then in this position? I hope that was not a blunder that the white did. But from other side, okay, they are just pawn down. They are just pawn down, and bishop takes g7 does not work. If bishop takes g7 does not work, then what else work? Yeah. Okay. Next board is Smirnov against Ethan. Same kind of position as it was half an hour ago, with equal chances for both of the opponents. Then we have Liu Patrick against the Kirito Polos. Blacks are still pawn up. but white still have the compensation for that, so the same kind position we're having here. Then we have Damodaran against Golis, where Damodaran is just pawn up with the dancing king. Okay, that's sure, but there is no danger on the king, and there is no bishop takes e4, dear chess friends, as because of the queen e5 check and then taking on e4, the white will be just piece up. So let's see if Golis will survive here with the pawn down. Let's go to the girls section under 10. Here we have Bassari having the same kind of position, same kind of space as it was couple moves ago. Actually, not a lot of moves has done here. Next board we have Artamonova Uliana against Cisco Evangelina, where Cisco has the knight on f4, and that knight is for whole life. So that's why black's position is slightly better. Next board we have Chichinadze against Mirzakhani. Interesting things happen here. Let's take a look. After b3 here, knight e7, bishop b2, c3, castle, check, d5, b4, bishop d3 back. Interesting, very complicated game for the for both of the opponents with the chances, equal chances. Next board we have here Anu against Sri Karthika. The same kind of position, almost equal. Open section under 8. Shogiev. Shogiev is... no, he did the move. He did rook e1. He did rook e1, very tricky move, by the way. I did not see this move when I was looking at this game, when I was taking a quick look, actually. The point is that on knight f2, it will be bishop e3. Game over. So after rook e1, if the queen takes on f2, then it will be bishop c4, for example. And the whites are having a very good compensation. So let's see what the black will decide. As I told you, Shogiev is doing an excellent tournament, the same as Anapuredi. Next board, Jachria against Panergy. A slightly better Catalan system for white. Ayapan against Larimark. Okay. Maybe blacks are slightly better, but very close to draw. I will tell you straightly, very close to draw. And the last section to review here, we have Sivanandan Bodhana against Charvi, with a very complicated game again and again, the same type of position. Whites are pawn down, but they are having the compensation for that. Next board here we have Mahina against Mahmudova. So Mahmudova get the knight back. I mean, not back. She gained the knight. Now she is exchanged down, but okay, the position is absolutely losing. She is exchanged and the pawn down. White rook could develop from h3 soon, and everything will be like super easy for white. After the huge blunder, I just want to remind, after the huge blunder that Mahmudova did in this game. Next board we have Rzadkovska against Veselov, and Rzadkovska is having the better position as she is attacking the king, and the blacks are forced to be in defense. Okay, dear chess friends, we review the end of the openings of our players. Soon the game will go to the middle game, and I think with that it will become more interesting. Now we will do a short break again, and we'll be back soon.
ბათუმი 15-28 სექტემბერი სოფლიო ჩემპიონატი ჭადრაკში FIDE-ს ყველაზე პრესტიჟული ღონისძიება მოზარდთა შორის სოფლიოს 69 ქვეყნის ნიჭიერი და წარმატებული 783 მოჭადრაკე აზიის, ამერიკის, აფრიკის და ევროპის კონტინენტებიდან ითამაშე ჭადრაკი ბათუმში გახდი საუკეთესო მსოფლიოში
ხარული ვარ რომ წელს ბათუმი მასპინძლობს ჭადრაკის მსოფლიო ჩემპიონატს მოზარდთა შორის მინდა მივესალმო თითოეულ მონაწილეს და წარმატებები უსურვო.
FIDE-ს სახელით მსოფლიო ჩემპიონატის ყველა მონაწილეს ვუსურვებ წარმატებას.
ბათუმი 15-28 სექტემბერი სოფლიო ჩემპიონატი ჭადრაკში ფიდეს ყველაზე პრესტიჟული ღონისძიება მოზარდთა შორის სოფლიოს 69 ქვეყნის ნიჭიერი და წარმატებული 783 მოჭადრაკე აზიის, ამერიკის, აფრიკის და ევროპის კონტინენტებიდან ითამაშე ჭადრაკი ბათუმში გახდი საუკეთესო მსოფლიოში
ხარული ვარ რომ წელს ბათუმი მასპინძლობს ჭადრაკის მსოფლიო ჩემპიონატს მოზარდთა შორის მინდა მივესალმო თითოეულ მონაწილეს და წარმატებები უსურვო.
ფიდეს სახელით მსოფლიო ჩემპიონატის ყველა მონაწილეს ვუსურვებ წარმატებას.
ბათუმი 15-28 სექტემბერი სოფლიო ჩემპიონატი ჭადრაკში ფიდეს ყველაზე პრესტიჟული ღონისძიება მოზარდთა შორის სოფლიოს 69 ქვეყნის ნიჭიერი და წარმატებული 783 მოჭადრაკე აზიის, ამერიკის, აფრიკის და ევროპის კონტინენტებიდან ითამაშე ჭადრაკი ბათუმში გახდი საუკეთესო მსოფლიოში
ხარული ვარ რომ წელს ბათუმი მასპინძლობს ჭადრაკის მსოფლიო ჩემპიონატს მოზარდთა შორის მინდა მივესალმო თითოეულ მონაწილეს და წარმატებები უსურვო.
ფიდეს სახელით მსოფლიო ჩემპიონატის ყველა მონაწილეს ვუსურვებ წარმატებას.
Hello, dear chess friends. We are having some technical issues. Now we are back. So welcome to Batumi again, World Youth Championship under 8, 10, and 12 open and the girls section. Today we are having round number 6. I will just mention that this is the last round before the rest day and everybody wants to go to the rest day with a good mood. I am Grandmaster Valeri Gaprindashvili and I will be with you. We will go to the games now as the openings are over almost in all of the top boards that we were reviewing. Now we go to the open section under 12. Here Mr. Din is playing against Duruchai Uyghur. So we were talking about this position and I will just add that the biggest problem, actually that's the biggest and the only problem that the black has, they don't have actually a big and a lot of problems, but one problem which is important and which affects on evaluation of the position and the mood of the position is that the black knight does not have any good square in the center to stay. So maybe the best is to put it on e6, but later after e6 where it goes, it's very difficult to say, or what kind of job is it doing. It's not doing much there, but it seems like that's the best place anyway. So for example, if the knight goes on e6, later the white's idea could be improving the pieces. First of all, we have to improve the king, but we have to do it accurately. So if say roguely, what we have to do there, f4, g4, king f2, of course, maybe later h4, f5, and so on. It's an easy game for white. Let's see how Duruchai will protect this position and if he will survive. Actually, we can say like that, because chances to win here for black is only one. If the white will do the huge blunder, which I think will not happen ever on the board number 1 in the open section under 12, ever, I mean in the rest of the rounds that we left, so well, that we have, yes, to play. Let's go to the board number 2. This is Adiredi against Uskov. I like how Uskov is playing chess. I actually like it. And let's see. I think here he has the better chances than Adiredi. Adiredi is also a perfect player. He will fight till the end, that's for sure. So let's see how it goes. For now, the black's position is better. Not much, not too much, but better to play, just better to play. So here we have Fedosov against Moahed Sina. Fedosov pushed c5. That's interesting decision. Pushing c5. Okay, strategically, white's position is tough. Strategically, it's tough. Let's see how the Moahed will continue and will not give any counterplay to the opponent. Let's see. He has advantage, that's for sure. On the next board, we have Beso against Gotham. Absolutely the same kind of position as it was 1 hour ago. Whites are slightly better. Next we have Haritonov against Muhammadian Sichani. Haritonov has rook for the bishop and the knight. I think always I prefer to have the two pieces than the rook, but of course it's not obvious all the time. It depends on the position. So the position here is quite complicated, as the white's rooks are working. That's one fact. Another fact is that the white's king is more safe than the black's king. That's another fact. And also it is very complicated, connected to the pawns on d4 and d5, which are both hanging. Very difficult to say whose position is better. It's very difficult to say, but I prefer with white. In this case, now I prefer with white. Let's see what's next. Here we have already the less pointers. Here is Villa against Bukrev. As we go to that, let's say a couple of words. Very unusual position with a huge center for black. And the passed pawn for white on each file. Okay, black's position is definitely better. Let's go to the girls section under 12. On the first board, we have Kali Ahmed against Merkulova with the equal pawns. You know that Merkulova was pawned down because she sacrificed that in the opening. And now what do we have here? Quite complicated position where I actually like the position for black more than for white. Next we have Shubhi against Idogan. That's kind of too risky for Shubhi. Again, we are on the same topic, dear chess friends. When we are playing very active and attacking moves, we have to be, of course, sure that we are ready for that. As you see here, the first rank, just take a look at the first rank of white, mostly the king side, which is completely undeveloped. She started the huge attack. So let's see if it works. A lot of things are hanging for now. It's very interesting which one to choose for white. First, knight takes d5 is hanging. But after queen d6, and when the knight goes somewhere, or even f takes e6, f takes e6 seems like the best move. But it will be dangerous, I think so, because I take this. So the point is that if the knight goes somewhere, black has knight g3. If the white captures on e6, then I capture, and bishop g8. I'm gaining the material here. No, knight e7 check. Sorry, here is knight e7 check. So there is no bishop g8. Knight e7 check is everywhere, so knight g3 then. It's interesting what kind of position is that. Okay, very complicated. Very complicated. Also, what the white can do, this is actually quite complicated position. Knight g3 is hanging and bishop takes f5 is hanging. Shubhi has to be careful, very careful in this position, otherwise with undeveloped pieces that she has on the king side, it could be some troubles connected to that. Next board we have Galadza against Shreya. Yes, Galadza's position is with advantage, that's definitely. She has a huge space, she has active pieces, and black's king is in kind of trouble. Queen a4 just in case, f4, e4. Okay, a lot of things are there, so let's see how accurately she will improve her advantage. Next board we have Orango against Ismailova, where Ismailova was queen down, usually to say like that, but for the bishop, rook and the pawn. So that's a compensation for sure, mostly when the black has a passed pawn on d-file, so it will not be the easy game for Orango. I think so, it will not be the easy game. I like this position for Ismailova more than for Orango. Next one here we have Holyavko against Maklakova. Maklakova is fighting very well. I mentioned it a couple times. I have to repeat. She is excellent fighter. This is her best skill, fighting and improving the position all the time. Good job, good job. Let's see how it goes. Next board we have Yusef Ian against Sapariagosh. So it seems like Yusef Ian did not play knight f3 in the moment where we were talking about. Here she did not play knight f3, that's strange. She played knight e4, queen e6 and just bishop d2. Here black has no problems. Here black has no problems. And this is only move number 10 after 2 hours of playing. That's quite interesting. Open section under 10. Here we have Mendes against Kleimenov. Complicated position. It's interesting what it happened after queen g7 here, that we said that Mendes should not play that. King e7, f4, bishop c7, knight d2, and rook g8. Okay. Okay, 5, rook h5, queen f2. Now the pawn on d4 is hanging. So, okay, what to say? Here is definitely the compensation for the pawn, but how big is the compensation that Mendes will show us. Next board we have Liu against Unsal. Yes, and Liu is just pawn down. As we said, it was a blunder. It was a blunder here. She just blundered knight takes d5, realized that bishop takes g7 is not giving much to him, and he just continued playing with the pawn down. It will be a very tough game for Liu for such a big blunder that he did a couple moves ago. Smirnov against Goethen. The same type of position, only move number 14. Yes, for the equal chances for both of the players. Next we have Liu against Kirito Polos. Also the same type position. Blacks are pawn up, but white have compensation for that. White's position actually seems quite solid. So let's see what will be later there happening. Next board we have Damodaran against Golis. Yes, here we also said that whites are just pawn up. They are just pawn up, and the best option for black will be if they somehow survive. Next board we have Vivan Vishal against Anand. All of these players are with the 4 points. Yes, here Vivan is completely winning. Here is the okay, here is a moment where I like 2 pieces more than the rook, because whites are 3 pawns up. With the 3 pawns up, we can be only with 1 piece also against the rook. So here is definitely the position is definitely winning. Definitely winning for white. Next board we have here Lacan with the black against Cocharian. Very unusual position, and very tough position. Unclear, we can say like that. Next we have Kuntelia against Botiraliev, where Kuntelia won the game. My congratulations to this Georgian player. He has 5 points out of 6, and that's not a joke at all. Let's go to the girls under 10. Here on the first board we have Bassari against Vinskaya. One of the best players in the tournament. One of the best players in the tournament, that's definitely like that. The position is slightly better for white, slightly, nothing special. If there is no d6, oh, that's one more detail. That's one detail there happening, that it could be d6 done with white. For example, if the black will play queen c7, there will be d6, and in case black capture, knight d6, and blacks are losing the castle, which will give the advantage for white. Well, it seems Bassari is having the advantage. Next board we have Artamonova against Sisko. With okay, Artamonova also moved her knight on f5. So with in this case, I think it's almost equal. Artamonova almost equalized the position. Next we have Chichinadze against Mirzakhani with a very complicated game. Last move was b5. So what's going on d takes e3? I think whites are forced to capture here. And c takes d2. It seems like whites are losing some material. They are losing the material here. Yeah, it seems like Mirzakhani has the advantage then. Okay, they did the move. Yes, they capture on c3. Of course they will capture on c3. Next we have Anu against Sri Karthika. It smells with draw. Next we have Igoshkina. And Igoshkina blundered the material here. She blundered the material. Yes. So the Askizi is having the advantage. Open section under 8. We have Shogiev playing against Anapur Reddy, the excellent players for this age category. And Shogiev is exchange up. He's exchange up, it is his move. So technically the position is winning. So what to say about this guy? I would say just shortly that just remember this last name. Next board we have Jachria against Panergy. Jachria is having the advantage definitely. Next board we have Ayapan against Larry Mark. Oh, you see, Larry Mark gained the exchange, but Ayapan also is having the compensation for exchange. That's for sure. Whites are having the compensation. It is white to move. They can even take on f4. So, okay, the position is dynamically equal, but let's see, both of them can win this game. Next board is Bahite Gauss against Xia Joshua. Xia Joshua is just winning this game. Let's go to the girls section under 8. Here we have Sivanandan playing against Charvi. And Charvi is having the excellent position. Both of them are the quite strong players in their age, but on this moment it seems Charvi is showing the better performance, and she's having technically winning position with the pawn up. So if nothing unusual will happen, Black will win this game easily. Next we have here Mahina against Mahmudova. Okay, what to say about Mahmudova? If I am Mahmudova, I will start crying exactly at the board, right at the moment when I blunder that thing in the opening and playing without rook later. And what to say, Mahina is also doing everything correctly. The position is again completely winning for Mahina. Next board number 3, we have Zatkovska against Veselov Zoe. Everything is hanging in the center. Everything is hanging in the center, so slightly better for white, but fighting. It is fighting. Perikizi against Salmon. We did not review this game at all, and what a strange position. What a strange position. It is white to move. What was the last move for black? That's very interesting. That was a g3, and blacks were forced to capture on g3, because if they play queen g5 there will be bishop c1. Wow. So they capture on g3, but now I think white can just capture on g3 also. And when they take on c2, white captures on c2, and here two pieces are definitely better than the rook, and white's position will be much better. Let me take a look here if there is any move like bishop takes d4. Makes no sense. Yes, no, nothing I think is happening better. Maybe bishop takes d4 to don't give that rook at all. To don't give that rook at all, and to don't be exchange up, but be piece up. And now if the black will capture on e2, I'm trying to play bishop f2, attacking the queen and the knight on the same time. And I think here it's much easier to win the game. So, okay, the white has this chance. Let's see what they're gonna do. No, they capture on g3. Okay, they even didn't think about bishop takes d4. They just capture on g3 without thinking, and that's not a good thing. Actually, when something important is happening at the board, we need to think. We need to think. Does not matter how fast is the chess player's thinking. He has to be with a high attention in the decisive moments. Let's go back to the open section under 12. a5. Duruchai decided to play a5. Oh my god, the position will be very difficult for black. Yeah, Dean has a good chances. For now, he is doing everything minus plus, okay? Let's see how he will continue. Here, in the both of the case, b5 and b takes a5, the white's position is still with advantage. But let's see what Dean will decide. Oh, there is bishop takes b4 also, the move like that. That also makes sense. Yeah, that's definitely advantage. It's the question is only one thing: the white could win this advantage or it will be draw. Next board we have Adiredi here with Uskov. Uskov is again doing very solidly He's very solid, doing a very correct chess, so this is very nice to see. Step by step, improving all the time. Quietly, smoothly, nice. It is nice to see. Okay, still, black's position is better here than the white. Next board we have Fedosov against Movahed Sina, and happened what we guess. When the white pushed the c pawn, they lost that pawn. So that was like a decision supported. It has to be the decision supported with a good calculation, and white has to be sure that they have the compensation for that, what I could not see for now. So now black's position is still good, and also they are pawn up compared to the position a couple moves ago. So I think Movahed gonna win this game. He will not miss this advantage. Next we have Beso against Gotham. Gotham activated his pieces, but still strategically white's position is slightly better. Then we have Haritonov against Muhammadian Sichani, and Haritonov captured on d5. So we review this moment. It was just 2 moves ago. Muhammadian Sichani captured on d4, Haritonov captured on d5, and black played back with knight on c6. This is the position we are having for now. Complicated position with the chances for both of the opponents to win the game. Girls section under 12. Kali Ahmed against Merkulova. Nothing much has changed here. The position is still complicated, and for this moment, it is very difficult to say anybody has the advantage here. Everything depends how they will fight later. And here we are, Ido against Shubhi with a very unusual position. So after knight h5 here, Ido decided to play g6. What a wonderful move. Black played knight g3, queen h2, maybe queen g2 was better. Yeah, actually. Why queen h2? Why not queen g2? Oh my god. Because after knight f1, now it is with tempo. And what to know? Queen g2, definitely queen g2. What a pity mistake. Now if the white captures on f1, then it will be f takes g6, and the blacks will be just one up. Yeah. Okay, anyway. Next game here we have Galadza having the advantage against Shreya. Last move was queen a4 and knight c7. Blacks are trying to support their position. Let's see what will be later. Next game we have Orango against Ismailova. Here black has a full compensation for the queen, but not more for now. And here we have Holyavko against Maklakova, but I don't want to call her Naomi. I can say Maklakova fighter. So, because actually she is a real fighter. She is trying to get the advantage. The position is quite complicated. And the last board with the 4 points here, the black, Saparia. Okay, with the equal position. Let's go to the open section under 10, where is a great fight again between Mendes and Kleimenov. Great fight, I can say like that. The black's king is not so safe, but they are fighting. The last move was knight f3. d3 makes no big sense because of bishop d4, so that's why Kleimenov played rook d5. He wants to push d3. He wants to push d3 and he will do that. He will do that, but the position is still complicated, very complicated. Let's see how they... Okay, we mentioned that that will be a very tough game and more complicated on the next hour, so we are having it. Next is Liu against Unsal on the board number 2. Here Liu is just pawn down because of the blunder. We already talked about that, so technically the position is winning for Unsal, but of course with the difficulties and troubles to solve. Next board we have Smirnov Mark against Guo Ethan. Super typical Sicilian position. Super typical, nothing unusual is happening with a very complicated game. And the next board we have Liu Patrick against Kirito Polos Ioannis. Here it is black to move. They are pawn up, but whites are having the huge compensation for that, so white's position seems more solid. Let's go to the girl section under 10. d6, this is what we were talking about. Bassari pushed d6. Well done, well done. She feels the initiative, she loves to be active, and now let's see how Vinskaya will solve the problems that Bassari creates for her. On the board number 2, Cisco is pressing. Oh, yes, it's better position for black. It's just better, but slightly better, nothing much. Next we have Chichinadze against Mirzahani. So happened what we were announcing, that they could be with the less material on the board, so they lost the pawn. Now they are trying to get it back, so advantage for black is clear. Next we have Anu against Sri Karthika. We are talking about this game that it smells with draw, but now it becomes too complicated that everything could happen here. Everything could happen. Let's go to the open section under 8. Shokgiev is having a big advantage as he is exchange up, so technically winning position. Then we have Jachria against Panergy. Jachria's position is better. Then we have Japan against Larry Mark. And Larry decided, no, Apian decided to exchange the rooks. It's very nice. Interesting decision. He wants to trade the rooks, and after trading, what is he doing? He's going with the king to e4 and d5. Very nice decision. Very nice decision. Yes, as I told you, everything could happen in this position, in this game. Let's go to the girls section under 8. Here we have Sivanandan against Charvi. Okay, Charvi is a pawn up. Charvi is a pawn up. The position is technically winning, but with some troubles. So if Charvi will solve the troubles, she will win this game. And for Sivanandan, what to say? The best option for her is somehow to survive and do the draw. I don't want even to go on this game. Mahmudova, how? Oh my god, such a huge blunder. After that, Mahina is doing everything correctly. The position is losing, so the position is losing for last 15 moves. It is very, very difficult to hold this unlucky blunder. Psychologically, it's very difficult. Let's see what will happen there. Next board we have Zatkovska against Veselov Zoe. Complicated position. What to say? Complicated position. Too complicated, actually. Okay, dear chess friends, we review all the top boards, and now we will do the short break. and we'll be back with you already in a super time trouble for the players who are thinking much. So that will be very interesting to review their games in the time trouble. We'll be back soon.
ბათუმი 15-28 სექტემბერი სოფლიო ჩემპიონატი ჭადრაკში ფიდეს ყველაზე პრესტიჟული ღონისძიება მოზარდთა შორის სოფლიოს 69 ქვეყნის ნიჭიერი და წარმატებული 783 მოჭადრაკე აზიის, ამერიკის, აფრიკის და ევროპის კონტინენტებიდან ითამაშე ჭადრაკი ბათუმში გახდი საუკეთესო მსოფლიოში
ხარული ვარ რომ წელს ბათუმი მასპინძლობს ჭადრაკის მსოფლიო ჩემპიონატს მოზარდთა შორის მინდა მივესალმო თითოეულ მონაწილეს და წარმატებები უსურვო
ფიდეს სახელით მსოფლიო ჩემპიონატის ყველა მონაწილეს ვუსურვებ წარმატებას
ბათუმი 15-28 სექტემბერი სოფლიო ჩემპიონატი ჭადრაკში FIDE-ს ყველაზე პრესტიჟული ღონისძიება მოზარდთა შორის სოფლიოს 69 ქვეყნის ნიჭიერი და წარმატებული 783 მოჭადრაკე აზიის, ამერიკის, აფრიკის და ევროპის კონტინენტებიდან ითამაშე ჭადრაკი ბათუმში გახდი საუკეთესო მსოფლიოში
ხარული ვარ რომ წელს ბათუმი მასპინძლობს ჭადრაკის მსოფლიო ჩემპიონატს მოზარდთა შორის მინდა მივესალმო თითოეულ მონაწილეს და წარმატებები უსურვო.
FIDE-ს სახელით მსოფლიო ჩემპიონატის ყველა მონაწილეს ვუსურვებ წარმატებას.
Hello from Batumi. This is World Youth Championship. We have round number 6. I am Grandmaster Valeri Gaprindashvili. We have some results already on the top boards and I will go to them straightly. First of all, I have to announce that under 12 open section, the player Ding and Ho, who had 5 points out of 5, won again. So I just repeat that. This player is doing the excellent tournament. He has 6 points out of 6. Today he did an excellent game. I mean another excellent game. So let's take a look from the moment where the position was like this. We are saying that White is having the advantage. The question is only question is that they could win this game or not, and let's see how he won this game. A4, A5. Yes, he put B5, so he fixed the weakness on B6. Knight C5 seems only move. Take, take. F3. Rook E2. Check. And take on F7. He easily won the game actually. Yeah, he won the piece. And later, so after Rook B8, the bishop on B7 is trapped. Just imagine that. Bishop is trapped. So he won this game easily actually. Yeah, what to say. Well done and my congratulations. 6 points out of 6 is already something very important. Let's go to the next board where we have Adi ready against Uskov. Here Uskov also won. So Uskov does not want to be far away from the leader. So he is behind only for half of the point. So I think that the next game will be Uskov against Ding. Uskov is having 5.5 points out of 6 and Ding is having 6 points. So Uskov also did a great game and he's doing the great tournament. So let's see who will be better on the next round. Next board here we have Movahed Sina with the black, Fedosov with the white. Fedosov is having a very bad position. Blacks are, okay, what to say, technically winning. There is nothing special happening here. They are just pawn up. Also, they are dominating on the dark squares. Okay, white's position is, I don't want to use that word, but very bad. Next we have Besso against Gotham. And still almost the same position, almost the only couple pieces are out, and still slightly better for white. Very tough game actually. Next we have here Haritonov against Muhammadian Sichani. It is white to move. Yeah, very complicated position and very unusual position. And probably they are also in the time trouble now. It is, no, they will not be in the time trouble because only 2 hours 50 minutes passed and it is move number 29, so it will not be the time trouble. It's good for the players. Let's see who will do better in this totally complicated position. Next we have here Vila against Bukrev. Also very complicated position. The last move was G4. Yes, it seems like whites are anyway better. Let's go to the girls section. Under 12, here we have Kali Ahmed playing against Merkulova. Last move was knight h6 check. So the point of Merkulova is to trade the white knight to the black knight on f6, as the black knight on f6 is doing the great job supporting the d5 pawn. So we are having quite complicated position. Still, it was complicated from the beginning, it is complicated right now. Here we have Shubhi against Ido Ganaria. It is white to move. It is white to move, and I think that if they capture on d5, black wants to play rook d8. And knight e7 check makes no big sense at all, because first of all it's king d7 also possible, and knight has to go back, there is no more chance, and king c8 back. So okay, we have this position on the board. No, we have this position on the board. It is white to move. They are thinking, I think they are thinking about rook g1 move, which also makes sense and makes a good sense. Seems like Shubhi has a very good chances to win this game. It's interesting how it was after g6 move. Knight g3, knight takes d5, e takes d5, take on e7, take on h2, knight f1 back, knight e2. Excellent calculation from Shubhi, excellent calculation. No, that was not in the game. In the game is this position. Yes, as I told you, Shubhi has a very good chance to win. Let's go ahead. Oh, this is Galadza Kesaria playing here with the white, and she already gained the exchange. She already gained the exchange, and position is technically winning. So Kesaria will be also with 5.5 points out of 6. Next we have Orango against Ismailova. Now Ismailova already has 2 pawns for the queen. I mean 2 pawns, rook and bishop against the queen, and has the extra chance to create another passed pawn on the king side. This is h5, g5, h4 idea. Yes, as I told you, that will be difficult to play with white. Okay, it seems like they are queen up, but no, it's not so. For the queen, black has a completely full compensation, so it is a tricky thing actually to think that, oh, I'm queen up. It's not so at all. So Orango has to be too careful to don't lose this game. Next we have Holyavko against Maklakova fighter. Okay, and what kind of position do we have here? It's not the best things happening for Maklakova. It's easy to see, as the king is in trouble. King is in trouble. King is in the serious trouble. So it seems like the only move is king g8. So you see, Holyavko is fighting not worse in this game. Not worse. It has to be king g8. And what's going on next? Of course, Maklakova has chances to survive. It's interesting how they get to that. So that was the position. It looks like Maklakova did her best from the worst position. She's pawn up for now, and later she did something wrong. It seems like that. It was unnecessary moves, queen c5 and queen e3. Now this is a position where she's thinking. King is on f7, but actually I don't see any other moves more than king g8. What else could be? On king f8 there is knight e6 check, and on king f6 there is knight d5 check, so there is nothing to think there. Next we have Yusef Ian against Saparia with the equal position. Open section under 10. Mendes against Kleimenov. I want to remind you that Kleimenov is the only guy with the 5 points out of 5. He's doing well. I'm talking about Kleimenov. Mendes is quite a good player, and Kleimenov is doing very well against him. The position is kind of better for black, you know, because the weakness of the king. Sorry, whose move is it? Oh, it is white to move. Pardon me, it is white to move. It is changing a lot of things. It is changing a lot of things. So white can capture on f6. And they have draw in the pocket if they want so. I mean, if the black goes, for example, on e8, because they could not go on f8 because of rook e6, because of rook e6. So they have to go on e8, and if I want to do the draw with the white, I can easily do it with the repetition. But I think there should be something better than the draw. For example, knight f5. That's what comes to my head first. Knight f5 makes sense there. I'm sure there will be another moves. Queen h8 and taking on h7 also makes sense. Okay, let's see. Oh, he played knight e4. Also very interesting. He decided to don't be hurry. Nice. Now knight f6 is hanging. Oh, blacks are in a very big trouble. You know, the fact that it was white to move, it is changing much. So Mendes is super on time. He is super on time here. Very tough position for black. It will be surprising if Kleimenov will survive in this position. Next we have Liu against Unsal. Still pawn down. Still pawn down. Pardon me, but is not it blunder back? What was the last move? What a strange thing. So I think black relaxed. Queen c6, queen e3, oh come on. Two moves, two very strange moves in a row. And now what to do with that knight? If the knight goes, the e7 pawn is hanging. So we have to go with the knight on the clever, very clever square that after queen takes e7, it will be rook e7, so rook e8, and eating the e2 bishop. So on knight c5, oh maybe knight c5, but what about the king side then? What about the king side then? Then there is queen h6. And later rook h4. Oh my god, or even rook h4 first also makes sense. And then queen h6. As h5 makes no big sense because of the things like that. Oh my god. Very bad decision here. Very bad decision for Unsal. Asking for trading. It should not be asking. It has to be forcing if you want to trade something. He asked for trade. Of course, white did not trade. Then knight e4, another unclear move. And after rook d4, we can say that the blacks are in trouble now. With the position which was completely Okay, how to say? Okay, let's say technically winning. It was technically winning, and now suddenly he has to think how to survive. And what for? Because he start asking for some tradings and so on. No, it has to be forcing. It does not have to be asking. So that will be a very good example for Unsal to don't do like that next time. Next game we have Smirnov against Guo. Guo is a pawn up. He's just pawn up actually. Okay, technically it will be very difficult to win, but okay, there is only one side here who is playing to win the game, and this is black. Next one we have Liu Patrick against Kirito Polos. And why am I smiling? That because Kirito Polos was holding his extra pawn for the last 25 moves. 25 moves. All the time whites were having the compensation for that, but Kirito Polos was fighting till the end, and now he still has the extra pawn on the board. He still has the extra pawn on the board, and let's see what's gonna happen later. I thought that the white missed a big part of the initiative, and now the question is like how to equalize. The only hope they have, that's a knight on d6. That's easy to see. Next board we have here Damodaran against Golis. A little bit strange things happened here. Damodaran was just winning, now there is no chance to win, or there is a chance. Wait a sec. So the knight is hanging like it could not go anywhere because of the checkmate on b7. So the hope for black is to do the perpetual check or somewhere to trade the queen. Very interesting moment. Very interesting moment. King has to go on g3. And if the king goes on g3, at least I have queen e3. The worst option, if there is nothing better, the worst I can play with black queen e3. Okay, Golis improved much. Okay, they agreed on draw here. They agreed on draw. Yeah, strange. Of course, Damodaran had all chances to win this game. He was just pawn up. Next board we also have the result. Vivan won against Anand. Anand lost 2 games in a row. That's horrible. Let's go to the girls. I mean, horrible feeling. Let's before the rest day. Next we have girls under 10. Bassari playing against Vinskaya. This is why to move here. Vinskaya improved the position. She improved the position. And now let's see what will be next there. It's move number 21. So here it will be the side, the time travel soon for sure. Next we have Artamonova with Cisco. Oh, Artamonova got a square for her knight, and this is c4. No, after that there is no advantage for black at all. There is no advantage for black. Okay, equal. Or maybe b3. Whose move is it? Yeah, I'm forgetting whose move is it all the time, because it makes sense. Now if it is black to move, they can play b3. They can play b3 and create the weakness for white on d3. Yes, that's changing the evaluation immediately. Black has to play b3. It will be the advantage because of the d3 pawn. That will be the advantage for Cisco, definitely. Okay, let's go to the next board where we have Chichinadze. Oh, Chichinadze is holding that position. That it was actually the bad position for her. Now she has all chances to survive. She has all chances to survive. What was the last move? The last move was Rook D1. It was kind of forced, otherwise after Rook C8 it will be a very bad pin there. Now what's going on Rook B2? Actually it's not so easy. It's not so easy to survive here with white. I think I have to play bishop f1 because I don't want to stay like this. And definitely I don't want to stay with the rook there. Yes, that was in the game. Rook b2 was in the game. So maybe bishop f1. And if the black will play this, I will do check. Here. Oh, sorry. Not a check. I will play rook c7. And here black has to be careful. Yes, that's very important moment now. White shouldn't play rook g1. They should play bishop f1. And after bishop f1, there is no problem, as the black king is also weak. The black king is also weak and needs the rook on 8th rank, last rank, to support that king. So it's interesting what Chichinadze will do here. Very decisive moment, that's why I stopped. Bishop f1 is solving the problems and rook g1 is losing the game. So if the white will decide to play passively, they're gonna lose this game, I'm sure. That's not the time for rook g1. Okay, Chichinadze is thinking we will be back then later, because maybe she will think quite much. Shokjiev against Anna Puredi. This is open section under 8. Yeah, Shokjiev is doing an excellent tournament, as I told you. And now he has all chances to win the game. He has all chances for that. Of course, the black has some tricky ideas that if the white king goes somewhere, then the black will play c5. For example, if the white will play something like this, then black will play c5 and then capture on f3. I'm not sure this is kind of solving the problems, that it is solving the problems, but at least it is giving some counterplay. It gives some counterplay for sure. So that's why king d6 makes no sense. And okay, Shokjiev is paying his high attention on that tricky thing, and he played a5. He has to enter with the knight somewhere, so okay. I don't know about a5, I'm not sure about a5. White could start acting immediately with knight e1. First of all, I'm threatening king d6 now. I want to play king d6 because now c5 does not work anymore, as I protect the f3 pawn. So if the black will play king e5, then I will go just knight c2. Seems like totally winning. Then knight d4. Okay, but a5 is not changing the picture. It's not changing anything, so it is improving. So maybe why not? Okay, in the game was bishop a6 played. So maybe now it's a time to play knight e1, or maybe king d4 now. Now king d4 is also, oh my god, here king d4 is also possible, which is just ending up the game. Why? Because after knight c5, b5, b6, b7. That's a game over. That's a game over. Let's see what Shokjiev, I mean, which way Shokjiev will decide to go and how he will decide to win. Next board we have Jachria against Panergy. This position was slightly better for white all the time, and finally they moved that slightly better position to the material advantage. They are pawn up, so the position is technically winning for white because black has no compensation at all. Then we have Ayapan against Larry Mark, who we are saying about this position all the time that it was very close to draw. It smells like that, and here you are. They are doing the draw. It's in progress yet, but of course there is nothing more than the draw here. And the girls under 8. Here we have Charvi with black against Sivanandan, and Charvi played the endgame very bad. Very bad. She was somewhere she was completely winning. Now it will not be winning. Now the game will not be winning for sure. Now it's not winning. It looks like a total completely draw. I mean it looks like a draw. It has to be the draw. Next we have Mahina against okay, finally Mahina won the game against Mahmudova. What to say? We already talk a lot of things about this game. We talk about Mahmudova's very petty mistake, the huge blunder, and Mahina did well. Well done. She did not give any chance to the opponent after that blunder. She clearly won the game. Then we have Zatkovskaya against Veselo. Yeah, that's a clear advantage for Zatkovska. She is pawn down, but with the huge compensation for that. I will go back to the open section. So we have a result on the first board. We already know that. We have the result. No, yes, we have a result on the second board where Uskov won. And we have in progress the game between Movahed with the black and Fedosov with white. I think Movahed missed a part of the advantage. He already missed a part of the advantage, but position is technically still winning. It is still winning, but carefully and accurately, step by step, he has to improve his position and then win the game. Next we have Besso against Gotham. Last moves was d6 and c takes d6. So in this position, whites were just pawn up and they played d6. C takes d6 and okay, I think simple knight takes d6. I don't like black's. Yes, that happened in the game. That happened in the game. I don't like black's position. So knight takes d6. Queen f8, queen d6. This is one option, which goes to the rook endgame. Some chances for draw for black. Maybe it wasn't necessary to play d6 here with white. As we are just pawn up, we can choose some other ideas. Maybe play c5 first. c5, that on queen h4, I will play d6 then. Or if they capture on c5, then I capture on c5 and then I have knight e6. Okay, what to say? In the game happened this, and after knight d6, I hope I'm not blundering anything, and queen f8 is the only option for white. Yes, that's actually the only option. So Sorry, yes, I actually blunder. White will not capture on d6, they will capture on h6, of course. Yes. Pardon me, that's just a winning if the black will capture on d6. So I'm of course taking my thoughts back in the line where I was saying to play c5 here. No c5. If the d6 works, of course d6 immediately. Never lose the time. If you want to do something, do it straightly. At least try to do it straightly. So Peso did it super correctly, and now blacks are in trouble. Queen g6 check, which seems to me the kind of best move for black. And now the white will play just knight e4. And they are still pawn up. Yes, Beso has a very good chances to win that game. Then we have Haritonov against Muhammadian Sichani with the super complicated position. That was complicated actually all the time. Super complicated. Plus, if it is the time trouble there, it will be very tough for them to play this game. Let's go to the girls section under 12. Kali Ahmed against Merkulova. Merkulova is exchange down. Oh, so it means that Kali Ahmed tricked her somewhere. Let's take a look. From this position, it was castle. Rook c1, knight a6, knight h4, knight f5, queen f3, g6, knight h6, take, queen b7, take on d5, simply. Oh my god, they blunder. They blunder that if they play bishop d5, there will be bishop c3. This is what they blunder. Oh my god, checkmate is hanging, and now after king f8 there is even simple queen d6. Check and then take on d5. Oh, what a pity blunder, another one. And here blacks were forced to play bishop g7, check and take here. So what's going on king f8? Queen f7 checkmate. Yeah. That was a funny question. What's going on king f8? This is what Merkulova blundered actually. Rook takes e7, take on e7, and now they are just exchanged down. They are exchanged down, so it's technically winning for Kali Ahmed. Next we have Shubhi winning here, totally winning against Ido Ganaria. Shubhi is a fighter. Then we have Kesaria. Galadza won against Shreya. A lot of games are over already. And here we have Ismailova Hanim, who is trying her best and being active there. Yeah, position becomes too very complicated. Let's see how they will continue. Then we have Maklakova lost this game. Yes, this is what I was talking about. Let's take a look how it happened. It was not necessary that queen c5, queen e3 idea was actually very bad. The bishop is in trouble. And piece down. Yeah. Holyavko played very well. Well done. Yusef Ian against Saparia. The equal position they are having here. Open section under 10. Mendes Mendes, attacking, and attacking. Let's take a look what happened on knight e4. Mendes is doing his best. He is doing his best. Good fighter also, very good fighter. He is trying to hold a very difficult and tough position. On the second board, here we have Liu against Unsal. Let's see what happened here after rook d4. Knight c5, rook h4. Knight e6, and they are on time. That's cool. That's cool. Bishop f3, bishop d5. That makes sense. The game was bishop g4 and queen c4. Just a blunder. Another blunder. Come on, Mr. Liu. Too many blunders. Too many blunders. e1, knight f8. Queen f3. Whites are threatening to play bishop e6. They hope that the black will blunder that. Okay, if the queen just goes somewhere for black, then Unsal is with the 2 pawns up. He has to win that game. Smirnov against Guo. Guo is a pawn up again. Pawn up, but it will be very difficult to win this game. Next we have Liu Patrick against Kirito Polos. Kirito Polos got another pawn. So this guy fights very well, very well. Now he's 2 pawns up. So now he has a good chances to win the game. Actually, this is all here. The rest of the games are over. Girls under 10. Bassari against Vinskaya. It is white to move. So the pawn is hanging on f7. That we see. But still, the position is complicated. The position is complicated. Next board, Artamonova against Cisco. As I told you, Cisco pushed that b3 there and create the weakness for white on d3, so that will be a very good position for black. Let's see if it will be enough to win the game for her. Then we have Chichinadze against Mirzakhani. It's interesting how they get to this position. After rook b2, what the white played. Sorry. Oh, come on. This is what we were talking about. It's just not allowed to be passive. People, no passive. No passive defense in endgame. Be active. Be active. It is better to lose the battle than to run away. So we have to be in the battle. We have to fight. Rook g1. It's not about the move, only move. No, it's about the habit. It's about the mindset. So it is very important to create the fighter's mindset. For example, in this tournament we also have some of the players that will not do that move. Why? Because they will not consider it as a first time. They will consider bishop f1 and then later to activate the rook. So this is a correct manner of playing chess. First, try to be active. If it does not work, then think how to protect your position. But playing rook g1, it is better to lose in the line with bishop f1 than to play rook g1 and survive. Why? Because for the future. The mindset has to be active all the time. The habit has to be with the killer instinct at the board for the chess player. So after bishop f1, as I already told you, there was not a big danger because the last rank is very weak for black. Last rank is very weak and I have a counterplay. After rook g1 I have no counterplay. No counterplay. Zero. I'm just standing and waiting. Rook f2 was in the game. Rook f1. Take on g2. Take on... Oh, no. No, Mirzakhani. Why to take on g2 when first you can take on c4? Just to gain the tempo. Just gain the tempo, yeah? Just gain the tempo, that will be very important. King g2 and then she capture on c4. Oh, very strange, very strange, very strange. Very strange, very strange. Okay, a very strange endgame for white in this position. After h5, rook c7, king h6. Why not to play h4? Is it dangerous? Why is it dangerous? It's not dangerous. Just play h4. The black's king is tucked. That's it. Just end it up with draw. No jumping left and right, jumping left and right. Very bad thing. Very bad thing. And now she captured on h. So whites are doing everything to give the chances to win to black. That's not the correct way of playing chess. Next game we have Anu against Sri Karthika with the extra pawn for Anu, so it will be winning for her. Let's go to the open section under 8. Here Shokjiev won. Well done, congratulations. He's the only leader now. Next we have Jachria against Banergy. Oh, the pawn is on d3. It was on d5 a while ago. Now it's on d3. So whose move is it? Again, whose move is it? It is very important. If it is black to move, then d2 is just game over. Yeah, black creates some counterplay. Let's see, it will be a tough game. Next board, Ayapan D draw. Next board, Bahit won against Xia Joshua. Okay, a lot of games are already done. Some of them are in progress. So now we'll do the short break and we'll be with you soon with the endings of the games of our round number 6. See you.
ბათუმი 15-28 სექტემბერი სოფლიო ჩემპიონატი ჭადრაკში ფიდეს ყველაზე პრესტიჟული ღონისძიება მოზარდთა შორის სოფლიოს 69 ქვეყნის ნიჭიერი და წარმატებული 783 მოჭადრაკე აზიის, ამერიკის, აფრიკის და ევროპის კონტინენტებიდან ითამაშე ჭადრაკი ბათუმში გახდი საუკეთესო მსოფლიოში
ხარული ვარ რომ წელს ბათუმი მასპინძლობს ჭადრაკის მსოფლიო ჩემპიონატს მოზარდთა შორის მინდა მივესალმო თითოეულ მონაწილეს და წარმატებები უსურვო.
ფიდეს სახელით მსოფლიო ჩემპიონატის ყველა მონაწილეს ვუსურვებ წარმატებას.
ბათუმი 15-28 სექტემბერი სოფლიო ჩემპიონატი ჭადრაკში FIDE-ს ყველაზე პრესტიჟული ღონისძიება მოზარდთა შორის სოფლიოს 69 ქვეყნის ნიჭიერი და წარმატებული 783 მოჭადრაკე აზიის, ამერიკის, აფრიკის და ევროპის კონტინენტებიდან ითამაშე ჭადრაკი ბათუმში გახდი საუკეთესო მსოფლიოში
ხარული ვარ რომ წელს ბათუმი მასპინძლობს ჭადრაკის მსოფლიო ჩემპიონატს მოზარდთა შორის მინდა მივესალმო თითოეულ მონაწილეს და წარმატებები უსურვო
FIDE-ს სახელით მსოფლიო ჩემპიონატის ყველა მონაწილეს ვუსურვებ წარმატებას.
Hello, one more time, dear chess friends. We are having the round number 6 in Batumi World Youth Championship, and we are in the end of this round. Most of the top boards are ended, and now we will review all of them. So, in the open section under 12 on the board number 1, Ding won. And he's having the max score. He has 5 out of 5. Next, on the board number 2, Black won. Uskov has 5.5 out of 6. On the board number 3, we have Fedosov against Movahed, where Movahed won the game. He has 5 out of 6. Next board is in progress. Beso is playing against Gotham. Last move was rook e1, so he missed something. He had an advantage, and what happened there? Queen g6 check, as we are considering. Knight e4 also. Queen g4. Queen d3, take the pawn. Okay. a3. Queen f4, definitely it was played in the time trouble. 3h6, yes. And now there is nothing special happening. He refused to do the perpetual. And he's in this position now. The position is quite tricky. Quite tricky and quite unclear. Next board, Haritonov against Muhammadian Si Chani. Still complicated position, still complicated. Okay, this is Villa against Bukrev, sorry. Bukrev has 2 extra pawns, so technically it has to be winning. The girls section under 12. Completely winning for Kali Ahmed. Extra exchange and the extra pawn for her. Well done, what to say. Let's take a look how it was from here. So he won the exchange, and after that he did everything well. Yes, the position is completely winning for white. Next, Shubhi already won. Galadza won. So here actually the all top boards won. Here Ismailova Hanim won with the queen down, as we were saying. That will be a very tough game for white. Let's see how it happened. Yeah, they just simply won the game. Okay, congratulations to her. All other games are over. So what's going on here? So we have the first board where it is completely winning for white, and all other games are already over. Let's go to the open section under 10, where we have Mendes. Oh, finally he got the material advantage, and the position is technically winning. Technically the position is winning, so let's see if he gonna... Okay, also the pawns are hanging. The b4 pawn is hanging with the check. The g5 pawn is hanging. Yes, that's winning. So Kleimenov had 5 points and had a chance to be the only leader of the tournament, but it will not happen like that. Then we have Unsal against Liu Zachary. Liu Zachary is with a white. Liu did a lot of strange things. So that blunder, and after that he's just too many pawns down. Okay, there is nothing to commentate here. Blacks are 4 pawns up, so it is definitely winning for Unsal. Next we have Smirnov against Guo. King d6 was the last move. Yes, it's just winning for black. For example, after knight f1, nobody will stop those pawns. So Guo is winning this game. Well done. Then we have Liu Patrick against Kirito Polos. Again, Kirito Polos has the material advantage, but white is having the compensation. So Kirito Polos in one moment activate his pieces. Now he made those pieces again passive. That's not the best option at all. But okay, he is still 2 pawns up for now. And if the white will capture on d3, then it will be b3 and later even a5. And that passed pawn will be quite dangerous. All other games are over. Goes under 10. Here we have in progress the game between Bassari and Vinskaya. Nice surprise that the Vinskaya fight till the end, and now she is pawn up and having a very good chances to win the game. So let's review the this moment, what was happening there. Yes, Vinskaya played an excellent game. She was in defense all the time, trying to improve, and finally she improved. And now she is fighting to win the game. Next board we have Artamonova against Sisko. Sisko is completely winning. Next we have Chichinadze, which was doing her best to lose the game, and now I think he's almost there. She's almost there after g4. Okay, how to survive here after g4? That's very strange. She played endgame very bad. h4, what a strange move. h4, and after g4, I mean it's just time to resign. Okay, anyway, we have another result here. Anu won against Sri Karthika. Now I will go to the open section again under 12. First board done, second board done, third board done. Board number 4 is playing. Basso against Gotham. Yes, white's position, okay. Basso, I'm talking about Basso, he made his pieces mobile, and now he wants to push c-pawn, and okay, with much better chances for white here again. Next board we have Haritonov against Muhammadian Sichani. with the super complicated position from the first move till the end. It is like that. Girls action, under 12. Completely winning position for Kali Ahmed on the first board. Second board, Shubhi won. Third board, Galadza won. Fourth board, Ismailova won. Fifth board, Holyavka won. And we have one game in progress here, Yusef Ian against Zaparia Ghosh. It's totally losing. It's totally losing because the pawn is just moving ahead, c6, c7. So they're just losing. There is nothing much to play here. Yusef Ian is winning the game against Zaparia. So what's left? Let's go again to the open section where we have in progress the game between Besso and Gotham. Besso decided to capture another pawn. Actually, why not? Okay, technically the position seems like losing. Seems like losing because of the weakness, the black king. The knight on f7 is completely in defense. So it's just losing. Haritonov against Muhammadian Sichani. Very complicated. Very complicated. It's unclear how to improve with white as well with black. Okay, if I can bet, I will bet on draw in this position, as it is very unclear how any of them could win this position. So Besso is winning. What do we have left here in the girls section? Under 10 we have on the video Bassari against Vinskaya. This is the position. Vinskaya is having the extra pawn. Of course it will be difficult to win, but it will be also very difficult to protect this position for black. There we have the result on the next board. This is Cisco with the black won against Artamonova Uliana. And all other games are over. So let's take a look at Vinskaya's game. Okay, it will be a very long game with only 2 results. Expecting that black won or draw. There is nothing else here to wait for. And the open section, let's take one more look at Besso's game. Yes, this is just technically winning. Goes under 12. Broadcasting with that. So we had very interesting games today. We had leaders in the tournament. We have a last day before the rest day. So tomorrow we are having a rest day. I wish to all of the players to rest well and be successful in the next round. So thank you very much being with me. And
ბათუმი 15-28 სექტემბერი სოფლიო ჩემპიონატი ჭადრაკში ფიდეს ყველაზე პრესტიჟული ღონისძიება მოზარდთა შორის სოფლიოს 69 ქვეყნის ნიჭიერი და წარმატებული 783 მოჭადრაკე აზიის, ამერიკის, აფრიკის და ევროპის კონტინენტებიდან ითამაშე ჭადრაკი ბათუმში გახდი საუკეთესო მსოფლიოში
ხარული ვარ რომ წელს ბათუმი მასპინძლობს ჭადრაკის მსოფლიო ჩემპიონატს მოზარდთა შორის მინდა მივესალმო თითოეულ მონაწილეს და წარმატებები უსურვო.
FIDE-ს სახელით მსოფლიო ჩემპიონატის ყველა მონაწილეს ვუსურვებ წარმატებას.